PlayStation, for the payers, has increased the price of the PlayStation 5. All right, guys, before we get into this, I have 4 months to hit my goal of 10,000 subscribers. I see a lot of you are new to this channel. If you are, please consider hitting that subscribe button if you enjoy this video. So it has officially happened. PlayStation is increasing the price of the PS5 in select markets, and they are citing here due to global economic environment, including high inflation rates. So let's quickly go over what is going on here with the pricing of the PS5. They are increasing it in Europe, the UK, Japan, China, Australia, Mexico, and Canada. Now it looks like it's a $20 price increase. At least that's based off of the prices here in Canada where I live, where previously for the disc version it was $629.99, and for the digital version it was $499.99. Now this version $650, and the digital version $520, which is just absolutely absurd for a couple of reasons. First of all, the disc drive for the PS5 in Canada, at least, was already more expensive than the Xbox Series X. It is a less powerful console. It is a worse made console. It's much bigger compared to the Xbox Series X. There's less value with the PS5 that you're getting out of it because you're not getting a service like Xbox Game Pass that you're able to access. And now, on top of all that, they have just increased it by another $20. And they're citing the usual that every company is citing these days. And I'm not saying these factors aren't here. Obviously, there is inflation. Obviously, we've had an unstable global economic environment with everything that has been going on. But how come we're not seeing these price increases with Xbox, with the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S? In fact, we've seen deals already on the Xbox Series S where you've been able to get it under the MSRP from what it originally released. Now, will we see a price increase on the Xbox? I don't think so. I don't think we will. I doubt Xbox would be willing to do that right now with their strategy and their ecosystem, and the fact that they have people paying in to the Xbox ecosystem, even if they don't have an Xbox Series console. And to me, that's the biggest factor right now as to what is going on here with PlayStation and with Sony. They are coming to the end of console exclusivity, console domination with the markets, all of that type of stuff. The writing is on the wall. We're seeing it with them expanding their ecosystem. We're seeing it with them expanding their subscription with PlayStation Plus. And now we're seeing this with the price increase for these consoles. And it's all pointing towards them having to make up for their stagnation with their strategy in this generation, with not adjusting at all with what they were doing with the launch of the PS5, just thinking we did so well with the PS4, sold over 100 million of those units. I think 117 million was the official ending number for it, that we can just continue doing the same thing over and over again. And now we're seeing the effect. I mean, these prices are absurd. I mean, if you remember when the PS3 came out, the uproar that really hurt the PS3 at launch, with it selling over $600, and we're back at this now with the PS5. A console, in my opinion, that doesn't warrant this price tag. It does not warrant the $649.99 price tag. It is not worth $649.99, and I don't think people should be going out and buying this for $649.99, especially when we take a look at something like this. This is something that we saw earlier last year, back in August 2021, and they have already come out and said that they are selling the PS4 for a profit. I mean, it says right here, Sony's $499 PlayStation 5 console is no longer selling at a loss. Sony's chief financial officer, Hiroki Totoki, shared the news just a week after the company announced it had sold 10 million PS5s. That's for the disc drive version. Now, when it came to the digital version, they said that they were still selling it at a loss, but it says here, well, the PS5 with a disc drive is no longer selling for less than the cost to produce it. The less expensive and discless $399 PS5 digital edition is reportedly on track to have Sony's related losses offset by other hardware sales like accessories and the PlayStation 4. So, I mean, you take a look at that, and if you were wondering why there are so many more disc versions out there in the wall, a lot of it has to do with probably the fact here that they were not selling it at a loss. At least that was my experience. It was very hard to find the digital edition compared to the non-digital, the disc version of the PS5, which would make sense. Why would you want to be continuously producing a console that you are selling at a loss and then have to rely on other sales of accessories and things like that to offset that? But with the disc version, you're already making the money off of it. So for them to raise the prices, even though they are already making money on every single unit of production, is, in my opinion, them just trying to be greedy, knowing that people are going to pay to pick up the PS5. The demand is so high. They see right now that they can't meet the demand for the PS5, and for them to increase that price, the demand is still going to be there. People are still going to go out and purchase it, and they may not even notice that $20 price increase because this isn't something they're going to be advertising when you go into the store. They're not going to have at the PS5 kiosk say, just to let you know, we've increased the price of the PS5 by $20. So we'll see how all this plays out. But this, to me, is just indicative of what you can do when you have a fan base that literally goes out and buys anything, no matter what price you put it at. They don't push back. They don't complain. They don't care if they are paying $10 more for all of their first-party games because they've been kind of brainwashed to think that it's worth that additional money. The PS5, the disc version and the digital version, point blankly, are not worth the extra $20 that PlayStation is charging here. It is not worth that amount, especially because of what I've said with the size of it, the noise of the disc drive, the fact that there's less value into it, and they are going to be making a slim version of this console sometime in the future. You know that's going to happen. They can't be having these massive consoles continuously produced for the entirety of the life cycle of the PS5. But that's it for me. As you guys can tell, I am not happy with these price increases. I think it's ridiculous that PlayStation is doing this, but let me know your thoughts on this. What do you think about the price increase? Do you think it's warranted? Would you go out and buy a PS5 still now with that $20 price increase? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here, you liked what you saw, consider hitting that subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for your support, and I'll catch you in the next video.